extremely excited to be here. It's my first time in Seattle, so thank you for having me. Okay, so I've spent the past 10 years of my life basically researching human behavior. My main goal is to try and understand what makes people buy, what influences our purchasing decisions. And I'm not really talking about pricing or features or product. I'm talking more about emotion. And so I translate that knowledge into thousands of A/B tests. And I try to basically optimize websites and web experience for customers and kind of increase conversions for my customers, for my clients. And so I was really excited last year when I got a call from the third largest e-commerce site in all of Asia. And they were inviting me to come for a meeting in Beijing, in China. And essentially what they wanted me to do is help them localize their website to the West. Because they were doing really, really well in Asia, and they weren't doing that well in Europe or in the US. So they invited me over. And this is me, I'm gonna go, all excited about it, and I spent weeks preparing for this meeting. I did tons of research, and I mapped out tons of psychological triggers and really kind of figured out what makes people buy over here in the West, just to kind of make it sure, that they know and they understand how it works. And I really did prepare. I built personas, and I did psychological triggers, and really found everything. And I felt that this was going to be the meeting of my life. So I prepared for the meeting. But it was only, I think, an hour before my meeting when I was sitting in the taxi, going to the meeting, when I realized that I haven't really researched China. And it was starting to dawn at me that at some point someone said to me that my apps might not work. And when I say apps, I mean, Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, and one insignificant app called Google Maps. So this was crazy because I was sitting in a cab and I was giving the taxi driver an address in English, and he was looking at me like I was speaking English. And I didn't understand a word in Chinese, and I'm freaking out because, okay, let's download the equivalent app in Chinese, right? Okay, they must have a really good one, but they don't accept fonts in English. So beforehand, I was pretty sure I was going to nail this meeting, 9 o'clock, whatever. So I get out the cab and I start running around frantically looking for a taxi driver who actually speaks English. And I find someone who kind of nods, and I say, what's the worst that can go wrong? He seems like he knows what he's talking about. So I get into the cab and I'm thinking, okay, now I'm on my way. This is happening. Back home, I saw it was a 12-minute drive from the hotel to the office. And I'm thinking, it's 20 minutes. I've got 40 minutes to get to the meeting. I think it was about 45 minutes later when I was literally pulling my hair out of my head that we reached this huge building. And I literally just threw the money at the cab driver, and I started running all the way into the building, and I'm kind of just like, all really, really annoyed. And I run into the building and I say, I have a meeting of so-and-so, where should I go? And they're just staring at me. Of course they're staring at me. They don't understand English, Talia. Like, they have no idea what I'm talking about. So I start thinking, okay, I should have maybe learned Chinese or something, or how about just writing the address in Chinese or having it in some way. So I walk around for 10 minutes searching for someone who speaks English, and I finally find someone, and I look like I just came out of the gym and I did a marathon or something, and a guy just looks at me as cool as if he just woke up from a nap and goes, oh, that's about an hour away, the other side of Beijing. And I'm already 15 minutes late, and he's telling me I've got an hour's drive to somewhere else. So he writes the address in Chinese on the back, and I get in the cab, and I drive all the way there, and I reach an hour and a half late to this meeting. So needless to say, I did not make it to the meeting. And I was there for like 2 days, and I didn't see them. I didn't meet the Chinese people. And I didn't get to see them because I didn't do my stupid research. And not doing my research cost me a freaking multi-million-dollar account. Sorry, just thinking about it, it's kind of... Anyway, so it cost me a lot of money. And the thing is that... Oh, wait, I forgot to say that at this point I was kind of trying to think if I should start drinking. I'm a big drinker. Anyway, so British and half Irish, so it just comes with the perks. Anyway, so didn't make it to the meeting, lost a multi-million-dollar account, and this is happening every single day. To businesses all over the world who aren't doing their research, it's not because we don't bother, or maybe it is because we're lazy, or maybe it's because we just don't understand. But because businesses aren't doing research and aren't doing what they should do, by the end of this year, there's going to be a $275 billion loss in online revenues. This is a huge number. And it's happening because we're not doing our research. You see, even though the average website has over 65% of mobile traffic, marketers are actually still choosing to treat their mobile visitors as if they were desktop. And this is what I mean. This is where you start like looking at me weirdly, all the SEO people here. So our go-to solution is out-of-the-box template design, responsive design. Essentially taking all of our content, everything that we have designed and planned for desktop, and condensing it into this tiny screen. And everyone's doing it. We've got Macy's, we've got Bank of America, we've got Microsoft, Skype, everyone. But the problem is that these mobile visitors are arriving on the website, they can't find what they're looking for, and we'll find out soon why, and they leave. And this is causing a 270% gap in conversions between mobile and desktop. Because mobile experiences suck. And in fact, they suck so badly that a recent neuroscience study actually found that the level of stress caused by using our phone on the mobile web is equivalent to the stress we feel when we're watching a horror film. I'm not making this stuff up, seriously. And I don't like watching horror films. I mean, there's a few people here, and we were talking about this yesterday, that love it, but no, not a big fan. Okay, so why is this happening? Because when we're on our mobile phones, we're different people, right? We have a different state of mind. We're multitasking, we're on the go, we might be sitting in front of the TV and using our phone. Or perhaps we're in a meeting and we're texting someone, or in the middle of a fight, or we're stuck with our car and we need help, or we're shopping and we're trying to compare prices. Many people actually do this while in a shop. Or maybe we're just stuck outside our house, but whatever it is, our state of mind is completely different than this guy. We're no longer on desktop. We're not in our office, having the time of our life. We're just passing time, waiting for 5 p.m. to come, and kind of researching and, taking the time to find out what is the best way to do something. So that's our state of mind. It's completely different. But it's not just our state of mind. It's also our behavior. We do things differently. And I thought I'd show you by my search, like how I do it. So this is me on desktop. I am a very serious person. I'm on Intercom, I'm on Slack, I'm building a presentation for MozCon. Really serious person. And then I get to mobile. And this is seriously, I did screenshots on the same day that I was building this presentation. And I didn't really search for something on purpose. So the first thing I searched for was how to make apple pie from bananas. Then it was how to color my hair purple, which didn't work because it came out pink. The third one, well, how to study Chinese, because that would have really helped me last year. And the fourth, most important one, is where is my damn Hogwarts letter? Because I still haven't received that one. But it's completely different, right? Now, if I asked you with show of hands, how many of you, without looking at Google Analytics, know the percentage of your mobile traffic? How many know that? Just show of hands. Brilliant. Most of you do without looking at Google Analytics. But what if I asked you, do you know what mobile visitors search for to get to your site and on your site itself? Because we're searching differently, so we're arriving through different queries. And that also means that our landing pages are different too. It's not the same as on desktop. Do you know what your conversions are on mobile? And even more importantly, do you know how many of your mobile visitors are making the bridge and going to desktop and converting? Because these are really important details that we need to know. And you see, if we want to convert more on mobile, if we want to turn more mobile visitors into customers, we're going to have to do two things. And that's one, understand people better. Not what we want, but what do our customers actually want? Understand their behavior. And only then can we actually create an experience that they actually want and need. Conversion. Or, oops. A personalized experience. Ah, yes, there it went. So why do we need a personalized experience? Well, we live in a world with hyper-information, 24/7, things coming at us whenever we want. Basically, any information that we need, we can get. It's at the tip of our fingers, which is fantastic. The only problem is that a wealth of information also creates a poverty of attention. And when we have so many things happening, so many people are trying to reach out to us, are trying to get our attention, and at the same time, someone's calling us or the pizza's arrived, we get really confused. And we don't know what to choose. In fact, it's called analysis paralysis. When our mind has too many options, our brain's default is just not to choose. And this is actually what's happening on mobile, because there's so many things going on there, we just can't find ourselves. And so it's no wonder that 86% of us are willing to pay so much more just to get better personalization. We want someone to tell us what to do. We want someone to give us the information that we need. Essentially, we're all like Dumbledore. I had to throw a Harry Potter reference in here, sorry. We all want socks, but people are still trying to shove books at us. And this is what marketers are doing. We're not listening to our customers. We're not researching who they are and trying to understand who they are. We're just trying to sell what we want. Now, customers know that we want to take their money, that's fine. When they want to pay, they will do that. But how are you helping them find what they're looking for? And this is one of the most important things when it comes to mobile experiences, because people are getting lost. Now, the good news is you don't have to completely redesign your mobile site. You don't need an army of designers or developers. I'm not even telling you to get rid of responsive design. I'm just telling you that we need to start thinking about information hierarchy. We need to start thinking about what our mobile visitors need and what kind of information we're going to serve them. How can we make their life better? Basically, we need to use the regular, simple mobile equation I just gave you. Understand their state of mind, understand their behavior, and create a better experience for them. What we need to do is actually identify the most important parts of a mobile visitor's journey. Where do they need our help? And then address that. And thankfully, we actually don't need to do that because Google's done it for us. Google's actually identified the 4 micro moments of a mobile journey, the most important critical parts that a mobile visitor goes through that they need help. And all we need to do is brainstorm with our customer success, with our clients, understand what our mobile visitors need in these points and address them. So what we're going to do now is actually look at each one of these micro moments. And I'm going to show you a few case studies, and I'm going to give you some advice on how you can take your responsive design that is doing what it's doing today and make it better. So we'll start with the first stage, the first micro moment, which is the I want to know stage. This is someone who's arriving to your website for the first time, and they're not ready to convert. They want more information. They need to know more about you. And here's a number of one rule with anything to do with content, and actually it's not just mobile. No matter what you're selling, what customers care about isn't the what, it's the why. No one cares about your product. Not your features, not your prices. What customers care about is what's in it for them, the actual value. You see, with every product that you have a story. And every story has two main characters. There's the hero and there's the mentor. Now, the hero is someone who's an everyday person, just like any one of us. And they go about their everyday life, but one day they have a challenge. And they don't know what to do, and they go through whatever they go, and then they meet the mentor. Now, the mentor doesn't tell them what to do or does it for them. It just helps them find the greatness within them. And it's exactly the same in marketing. You're not the hero of the story, your customer is. Or this is probably how Yoda would say it. It's the difference between saying that you are the #1 app in the world and saying, find your perfect match. It all starts with a date, because it's about the customer, it's not about you. Whenever I start working with a new client, I like to ask them, what do you sell? And if I'm working with an insurance company, many times they'll say, well, we sell insurance policy, which is rubbish, because that's not what you're selling. What you're selling is peace of mind. And if you happen to be selling clothes, that's also not what you're selling. What you're selling is self-esteem. Because it's not about the t-shirt that you're selling, it's about how you feel when you're wearing that shirt. And this is the essence of the I need to know stage, because when you're on your mobile phone, there's a lot of things happening. There's people calling you and texting you, or someone has arrived at the door and you've got millions of messages coming to you. And if you don't get that message within 3 seconds, if you don't make it 100% clear what's in it for your customer, they're out of there and they're not coming back. And why 3 seconds? Well, because 60% of mobile web visitors expect a mobile site to load in less than 3 seconds. Got it. Okay. 3 seconds. And this is because we don't have patience, we don't have time, hundreds of reasons. But here's what happens if you have a 1 second delay in page load time. 11% less page views, 16% decrease in customer satisfaction, and my favorite, 7% loss in conversion rates because of 1 second. And why do people actually have delays on their mobile sites? Because they look like this. Because their images don't load, and no one's going to wait around for you to load your bloody images. Because you're using the same images on desktop and condensing them and not thinking about how much they weigh, what they look like on mobile. This website, for example, 1/3 of their mobile site is a logo. How relevant is that? How important is it? And the image in the back, which is probably, amazing on desktop, does absolutely nothing on mobile. It's killing their conversions. So you really have to start thinking about the images that you're using. They might not be relevant, you might want to change one, you might just need to work on the weight of how much it weighs. Now on mobile, as we said, in this stage, people don't know and they're not ready to convert yet. But what you can do is help them find the information they need, or one of the things that we love to do is help them save stuff for later. Simple, easy. If we identify that someone is on the product page or on a checkout page and they've been idle for more than 6 seconds, we'll just ask them if they want to save their item for later. Insert your email, you get an email that says, here's your product, and they can convert later. And doing this has helped us increase our customers' conversion rates between 12 to 54% by a simple, stupid little save for later button we can all add to our websites. But what we also need to do is offer the relevant information. Now, this is a website that actually helps you buy tickets for any event, from an Adele concert to football, what you call soccer, to football games. So basically, what we do is we identify the page they've landed on, the search query they've used, and then we'll say, Watch Barcelona live because we know that this is what you're looking for. Need more information? Call us now. 87% increase just by giving people the right call to action at the right time. Okay, next micro moment, the I want to go stage. Now, this is usually assumed that we're talking about brick and mortar stores when you want to go to the actual store. But if you have a customer success team or a sales team that answers the phone, this is relevant for you too. You need to help people get to you, and you need to help people call you and reach you on the phone or via email. So a couple of weeks ago, I was searching for an American Eagle store, and I was in a certain state in the United States, and yet it was asking me which country I'm in, which is really annoying because you have this information. And the same goes for Apple, by the way. Why are you asking me what state I'm in? By simply identifying the location a customer is in, we were able to increase, for this insurance company, their conversion rates by 25%, just helping them click on, navigate to the nearest location to you. And they could. They don't need to search for the closest place. We're telling them where it is according to their location. And what about the contact us page? This is a yellow pages page where you're supposed to be able to contact people. And I can't for the life of me find how to contact anyone here because there's so much information. Now, I told you, you don't need to completely redesign your website. But your contact page is one of the most important pages in your entire website. Why not make it easier to contact you? Have your phone number clear. Have a simple form that people can fill in and contact you. And just one other thing about contacting you, there's nothing more frustrating when you're calling a company at 8 o'clock in the evening and they say, I'm sorry, we're not here to answer your call right now. If you can't answer my call, don't ask me to call. Give me an option to leave my number for a callback. It's the simple things, and it's easy for you to identify within your website the time that person comes to your website. Okay, third stage, the I want to do stage. Now, this actually happens before or after a purchase. People are trying to get information. Every day, millions of people are Googling and on YouTube trying to figure out how to do a certain look with makeup or how to bake a certain cake, maybe apple pie from bananas, and also maybe how to create better ads on Facebook, how to do SEO better. And it's a perfect place for you to actually start collecting leads and nurturing those leads. This is not the way to do it. Neither is this, neither is this. There's like 100 things like, oh, now that you've reached the middle of this post, can I please have your email address? Last chance to give me your email address. No. But Digital Marketer is a really cool blog we've been working with for about 6 months now. And they provide amazing content about marketing. So if you search for Facebook ads or you want to learn more about SEO, you can actually go to their website and learn stuff. And one of the things they've been doing with us is basically identifying the pages that people are on and offering the right tutorial. So if you landed on a Facebook guide, they would prompt you to download the Facebook guide and have it right in your computer. And they also actually A/B tested it with a click to link. And they saw 30,000 more content views, and they also saw 3,300 more leads, just by offering the right offer at the right time. And it wasn't only that, it was also the fact that they were able to bring down their bounce rate by half and triple the amount of page views on their site. Because people were getting the relevant content, so they were staying on and seeing more content. This is probably the most important one, right? We all want to get to the part where people convert, the I want to buy stage. Here's a couple of things that really annoy me when I'm trying to buy something or I'm trying to sign up for something. Having the wrong bloody keyboard. So you're trying to put in your email, or you're trying to put in your credit card number, or just sign up for something, and you get the wrong keyboard. This is so easy to fix and so simple, and all you have to do is talk to the developers and make sure that when someone clicks on a certain field, the right keyboard comes up. And companies have seen hundreds of % of increase in conversion rates just by adjusting that keyboard. Number 2, Stop using desktop solutions from mobile. Pop-ups, desktop pop-ups that also work on mobile. Amazing, fantastic, and thank God, actually, Google has decided to actually do something about it in January because they're blocking all of the content. You're arriving on a website and you have this huge pop-up that basically says nothing. You can't touch the field, you can't click on X to exit it. It's just in your face. There are so many other options and ways to use pop-ups within mobile that look native, that perfect trust, but they're also personalized to the experience. Another rule about conversion, which should be really simple, is if you give me too many calls to action, I'm not going to convert. I actually don't understand why this website even has like share buttons on their homepage or on their landing pages, because have you ever landed on a page and said, ooh, I'm going to share this on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Google+. Whatever. No one's going to read, no one's going to take the time to do this. Tell them what to do, get to the point. So this client is actually one of our customers, and one of the things that they have is they have a cool app, but it only works on Android. And so far, anyone that was coming to the website was getting the exact same calls to action. So what we did is we identified the device. If you came in from an iPhone, we said, hey, why don't you subscribe and we'll tell you when the app is ready. And if you came in from an Android device, we asked you to download the app. But we didn't tell you to do it immediately when you landed on the page. We told you to do it when you scrolled 900 pixels. So you've done 3 thumb scrolls, and now I know that you're actually interested in the content. Okay. So with mobile design, it's all about being immediate, having one call to action, and looking native. Because we're all accustomed to different looks and feels, and we can use that in our design. Oh, oops. Okay. Now, the last thing I want to talk about within this specific micro moment is incentives. People don't always like to convert on mobile, but you can use small techniques to help them do that. For example, have a specific coupon just for mobile. If you check out on mobile, you're going to get 10% off site-wide. 260% increase by a stupid coupon for 10%. Then you have the easiest thing, free shipping. Free shipping increased conversions, and everyone knows this, right? Everyone knows this from Amazon, 79% by telling people that we ship to their specific area. Okay, so what do I want you guys to take away from me today? We're not using mobile as a replacement for desktop. This is really crucial for people to understand. We're using mobile in a completely different way. And it's only once we all understand that mobile visitors are not mini desktop visitors are we going to be able to convert them more. We need to start treating mobile visitors as different people. We need to treat our customers as people that have emotion and value, and they care about what we're actually giving them. They don't want to be in a horror film. So build better experiences for mobile. Don't lose multi-million-dollar accounts because you didn't do your research. That's it. That's me. That's my dog over there on the left. Thank you very much, guys. Ooh.
Oh, you are teasing us with your picture of your cute dog. Thank you. OK, we've got a couple of minutes for questions, I guess. Someone was asking in particular about all these things, understanding the users, the micro moments and everything else, the work you're doing to benefit the site and help those users sounds fantastic on mobile. A lot of this would probably have benefits on desktop as well.
For sure. Well, I mean, that's what essentially we've been doing for over 10 years. I've been running an agency that all it does is optimize websites, and we were focusing a lot on desktop. And for many years, both worked. We were doing desktop, and it also worked on mobile. And it was only in the past 2 or 3 years that we realized that mobile was suffering, and the things we were using for desktop were no longer working for mobile. And that's why we made the transition to kind of focus more on mobile. But all of these things about consumer psychology and understanding what experience your customers actually want works everywhere, and it's important for every single experience that you create.
Real quick, someone was looking for an example on the need to know, I want to know micro moment. Is there any particular websites that you think are great for I want to know, or any particular tactics that you've seen where you're like that nails that moment?
Well, I think one of the most important parts, and that's why I kind of made it more a longer part of this section, is kind of understanding what your customers are looking for. As I said, they're not really looking for information about the product or the actual features that you have, because they can do that later. What they're really trying to figure out is the value. So one of the things that I think is most important is before you even go about changing stuff on your mobile site and getting to kind of convert that, you really want to understand the different personas that you have, what people are looking for, and really dig into your data. And we all have this within Google Analytics. It's just segmenting out desktop and looking only at mobile and understanding what people are looking for, what pages they're on, and being able to just identify the information that people need. And then it will be so much more easier for us to supply that information and give that value in our content.
Okay. Thanks so much for being here at MOSCON.
Thank you very
Talia
much,
Wolf.
guys.
Thank you.